a weakness. I'm changing it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. I'm your host, Adam Mill. To the right of me is my co-host, Cuz the Governor. In the middle is Skills Mega, the hip-hop scholar. And on the side of me is Quan Bizzle. Boom. Jam will be here within 15 minutes of the show. We got a lineup today dealing with Kanye West, dealing with what happened in Minnesota, and also we have the reaction from the J. Cole DJ Clue mixtape. I believe we'd like to say shout out to, not shout out, condolences to the family of Michael, 5,000 watts. We lost a hip-hop legend today. Skills, you just informed me of the brother from Sanford and Son, Lamont, the guy who played Lamont.
Yes,
I
Lamont.
don't know his name. I don't know his. I
believe his name was Damon Wilson.
Oh, okay. Condolences to his family. Just give us speed on things. Hold on. All right, let's see. Last time I did it was in Spanish. 1 second. Give us a little bit of.
Neuropathologist Bennett Omalu, speaking generally about the progression of neurological issues and not specifically about West, says that the types of TBI, traumatic brain injury, suffered by West in a car crash can manifest with symptoms over time that may resemble a bipolar disorder. Omalu, whose discovery of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, in football players is chronicled in the 2015 film Concussion, says TBI can result in a variety of behavioral.
Oh yeah, and AI. We're talking about AI taking over jobs. Shout out to AI. That was AI right there. Yeah. The little bit that we just heard from that. Kanye attribute his mental illness to the car accident that happened in the early 2000s. Frontal lobe or something was injured or whatever. And to his bipolar disorder. Now, the thing is, the funny thing I got to say about that is, like, was this a thing? Why is this a thing right now? Why wasn't it a thing back in that time? Or was it uncomfortable to speak about mental illness? You get what I'm saying? Do we use this as an excuse for his actions? Do we, as the Black community, do we accept his apology? I'm gonna let y'all express that, whether or not we should or not. You get what I'm saying? I can't say if the man's sincere or not, but I can tell you about patterns and actions, right? Every time he comes out with an album, he seems to write a letter of apology. Last year, he put out a song called Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. He also put out a crazy song about him and his cousin, yo. Yep. That shit is so heinous, I don't even want to talk about it.
Exactly.
If you heard it, you know.
No, I didn't hear it, but I heard about it. And he issued an apology to the Jewish community. Now, Bully is coming out, scheduled to drop sometime next month, I believe. He's issuing apology to the Black community. Me personally, I'm going by patterns. Actions speak louder than words. I heard this all before. I think it's a thing to seek attention. I don't believe it until, show me more than tell me. You know what I'm saying? Show and prove. I'm not buying it. Skills, if you want to go next on it, you can, but I'm not, it seems like every time it seems like every time this man come out with an album, whatever, it's like he's an attention whore. He want to bring the attention to himself, and I ain't buying it up.
My thing is, I think that a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So I do think that there is some truth within the apology. I do think that he seems to be in a better place mentally, but it's ironic that he always seems to wisen up or sober up, for lack of a better term, when he has some music that's about to come out. You feel me? So with that being said, I don't know how sincere we can take that with him making songs like Heil Hitler. You feel me? Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? We might even get flagged for even repeating that shit. You feel me? So I know you feel me. I don't want to make your job harder, but we might need to. Well, I would censor that second word. You feel me? But with that being said, like I don't think that it's sincere from that standpoint, but I do think that he has a point about the doctors at the time addressing the physical aspect of the injuries that he gained during that accident and not the mental aspects. You feel me? And even in like I read the letter twice before we got on here, you feel me? And he was saying that like the disorder that he gained from that lies to you and makes you feel like you don't need help. And then people telling him that he needed help made him push away from them more. And I believe that because there's different things that he said and done that shows like, you know, as brothers, you feel me? We see other brothers wilding out, and it's like you can tell, like, oh, this person don't have real ones around them. You feel me? And I could imagine that the higher you get, you feel me, in the social and economic stratosphere, that some people might find it harder to keep it real with you because they might think you would cut them off, not to make it right. You feel me? You need real people around you regardless. But I'm saying, like, I doubt that that's what happened with him. I think that he got a bunch of yes people around him. You feel me? And like from time to time, like Dave Chappelle and them come and they go visit him, but I feel like it's too late once they check on him. You know what I mean? So, but that's all I got to say, bro. I don't fully believe it. I do think that he's not lying about the mental effects of his car accident, but at the same time, I think it's too little, too late. And I think that he should have made this apology. It shouldn't be that I got an album coming out, so now I need to make this apology. You feel me? Like I think that's poor timing.
I'm gonna let Gov cook next, but yeah, poor time and poor judgment, and it seemed capitalistic. Except for sincere. He's really sincere. He wouldn't even issue a letter. He would just show by his actions and wait till he's mentally prepared. Then he will go on a couple interviews and you know, stating that his apologies to the black people, and be sincere with your, you know, with himself, whether people accept it or not. You know, show through his actions. God, what you think?
I think about Beethoven, Mozart, Leonardo da Vinci. All three of those creative geniuses, all of them suffered mental health issues, and they all went back and forth with a lot of depression, a lot of these things. So I look at him in the same light. He's a very creative individual, you know what I mean, and he suffers a lot of them things. And when you given as a result of his ability, he's been able to make a lot of money, and result of that, people are going to gravitate to that, and the people that want to stay around, they're going to say yes, you know what I mean? So that just feeds into this whole thing. So now we see this pattern because we've been watching them for over the last, 20, 30 years almost. So we've been watching them, and we've been seeing this whole thing go up and down between the different relationships, everything else. And then when it came to this, he was flirting with this, he was flirting with all that talk a couple years back. And then he dialed it back. Then he jumped on MAGA. Then now he's against that. You know what I mean? So he bounced all over the place. He was jumping like he was talking like he was a Christian. Now he not anymore. So you know what I mean? So we get all type of things like that goes back and forth with Kanye, and that's part of what makes him him. You know what I mean? So if the apology, I mean, it goes to the people that's offended by it. Me personally, not offended. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't faze me too much. I just look at the guy for his art. And other than that, that's just all it is.
All right. Juan Bizzle, then we're gonna go to Jan. Jan, what's good?
Hey,
We
looks
talking about
good.
the latest Kanye West controversy and dealing with dealing with the mental illness and attributing to the car crash that he suffered from before he entered the industry, as we know. So I'm gonna let Bizzle talk, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna let you talk. And I'm gonna say my last reports because I want to know how we feel as Black men in our community dealing with mental illness.
Okay.
Hey. Well, you gotta kind of pull back the layers on Kanye West. By the way, one of my favorite artists. I like to have empathy for people, especially when you're on that, high of a caliber, like Kanye West. You gotta understand a lot of us, and I can't say I don't know everybody in their personal lives, right? But a lot of us haven't dealt with a loss of a mother. You know what I mean? Um, and then dealing with a loss of a mother, he doesn't have his original family, his relationship anymore. He's dealing with those troubles. So on top of what he already had prior to this whole crazy Kanye West era, losing his mother, um, issues in the industry, as no that's no stranger to any artist that's in the industry. Losing his wife, he knew for years. Then losing his kids, then the controversy around losing his wife, right? So all of that around all these new people coming in your life, or these people that are leaving your life slowly but surely, it could be a lot. So I guess when you're on that level and you kind of like, what the hell anyway, you start to kind of crash out. You know what I mean? Say things you say, do things you do, even if you don't mean it. So I feel like, it's a little tricky because album rollout, and these artists are like actors. You never know with them. It's always some type of shenanigans happening, especially when they need to get those ticket sales and everything. Those little downloads early on. But yeah, you never know. But yes, yeah.
All right, Jam, what you think?
Um, I actually believe him. I know he usually do that every time he release something. He come with an apology for his crazy behavior, but I actually believe him this time because he did go kind of far, and you know it's kind of hard to come back from that. And he might actually be canceled now for real, for real. Um, his album came out yesterday, right?
Oh, did it? I'm thinking, I thought it was gonna come out next month. I'm not sure. Is it out?
I don't
From
know. I
from
thought it
what
was
the
supposed to come
internet
out Friday.
says, I don't mean to
Oh,
cut your wisdom, bro, but from the internet says it says that officially supposed to release on March the 20th. From my understanding, there's a bunch of leaks out. You know what I mean? So it might have been leaked, but who's to say that the leaked versions are going to be the same as what we heard on the official release? You know what I mean?
Okay, because Kanye always change his release dates around. Then he'll have like 20 different release parties. I don't know. Yeah, I actually kind of believe him this time. You know,
you
I
got a
think
soft spot for him, man. Pause.
nah.
Because
I think
a lot of people, I don't want to cut. I hate to cut your wisdom, but a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are like, yo, for some reason, I believe him this time. I really believe it. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's very hard with this guy to believe this guy because, like last year, he was just apologizing to the Jews. Now he's apologizing to us. And both times he had a record coming out. So I don't know. I would tell. I don't
he could be faking. He could be
know.
faking if he can make it. But he already rich. You know what I mean? He could just be doing, or he could be doing it so some of these doors could open back up because he can't get a lot of gigs that he used to be able to get due to his behavior. So, but something about it makes me feel as though this is a more sincere apology than all the other apologies. And if he start wilding out again, you know, then it's over for him. And I think he knows it. I think he knows it. And the way the apology was worded with him getting injured in the accident and all of that stuff, um, yeah, I think
I,
I
I
think
think
it's
some I think somebody
And
wrote that. I think somebody wrote that
nice.
for him, Jam, because I don't think Kanye's capable of writing a letter like that. I think he has somebody in
Somebody
his
or something.
promotion team, yeah, or something right there for him. You know what I'm saying? I can't give him the credit.
What you think he went
Oh,
on AI and was like, write me a sincere letter
yeah,
from this
yeah.
perspective? Like,
I just went on AI and gave y'all the scoop. You know what I'm saying? Got to be used for something good, right? Um,
So,
on a more, because it's hard for us to feel for someone who basically, I'm going to assume strongly that um, what he spent on tips a year is more than all our salaries combined, right, fellas? You know what I'm saying, at a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So, or his
mhm.
taxes he paid a year is more than what we combined, all of us combined a year. You know what I'm saying? Unless we have any secret millionaires on the panel, please let me know. Please, I need a loan. But it's hard for us to gain sympathy or empathy for a person who's rich. So let's talk more on the law, a more personal level. Mental illness in the black community with black men. And we've seen a spike of it since COVID, right?
Yeah.
Is it like a taboo for black men to express mental health? Is that like a sign of weakness? Like, man, tighten your belt. You know what I'm saying? Pull your pants up, man.
I'm gonna
You know what I'm
say this.
saying? Tighten your head up, man. Stop playing games. You know what I'm saying? We tough. We come from good stock. You know what I'm saying? Our people have been through the worst. You know what I'm saying? So what you guys think, man? Is it a taboo? Is it something to look down on? Is it considered weak? Or do us black men, do we speak on it enough?
I think that we're in an era where we've been speaking on it way more than what we used to, and I'm glad that we are at this point. But I think that Kanye is a different circumstance, and not because he's rich, you feel me, but because of the amount of things he said and done over the years. Like I feel like we all respect him as an artist, but as a black man, you feel me, figuratively speaking, I feel like we done already traded him subconsciously in the racial draft. You know what I mean? Remember the racial draft?
Yeah, with Dave
Like,
Chappelle. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like we traded him years ago. You know what I mean? Like when he said slavery was a choice and all of the rest of the stuff is just like, all right, like you feel me? But I feel like we also felt for him at first. You feel me? Like when he had that whole Beyonce should have won the award, you feel me? And just the different crash outs and at first, but he had been crashing out for a minute. Remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, and he was like, "You feel me? George Bush don't care about black people." Like he had been crashing out for a minute, but like that was at a way lesser level, and that was a more important and more relevant crash out. You know what I mean? But I feel like he had always been like that to a certain extent. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like we're not really that much surprised. It went from concern to this nigga's wilding. You feel me? But like I do think that it's not something to look down on. Like we're not looking down on him. We just understand like we've seen him crash out so many times that we're used to it. I feel like we're more desensitized to it than looking down on him, you feel me? But he's lost, at least in my opinion, he's lost a certain amount of credibility within our community to the point where we care about him and his music, but we can't we you feel me? Like he doesn't have the same standing that he used to.
No, I was meaning not Kanye, for instance. It's bigger than Kanye. I'm saying from a standpoint of us, black men. Let's say black men in Baltimore, somewhere identified with. We all know is all over the world, especially in America, is mental health. Do you think mental health is like a big core of the problems that we're going through now in our city? Crime, the way people think, the way, somebody told me you can see it down here, and I consider Virginia the gateway of the South. But you can see it down here in the South where a lot of people say, where's that Southern hospitality? Where's when you go outside, people say, hey, neighbor, whatever. It's more like move, get out my way, or a stern look or whatever. You can tell that somebody's mentally gone through something. You know what I'm saying? How people react to you. just being at work, just is observing people and how they talk and like, yo, why would you utter that out loud like that? It's like it's lawless. It's like people are now crashing out. You know what I'm saying? As if it's normal. And when you're in the same state of mind, you're like, yo, what's wrong with him or her? They geeking. So I just
Yeah.
want to know from the panel, fellas, like, is it an increase of lawlessness, people giving up, mental health is at risk? You know what I'm saying? Because Malcolm said this. I shouldn't have fear of my own kind. But when you're around your own kind, well, let me speak for myself. Sometimes, and I come up from a street background. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much about fear. I know it exists, but I try to challenge fear. Always been that way. But it's to the point now, it's like, I don't even know if I feel safe around these jokers. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are like really mentally wilding out, not stable. So what do you guys think?
I think that's more of a symptom. Mental health is a part of the symptom of what's really going wrong. A lot of people lost their main. Everybody lost their way. Everybody's individual now. It's all about the individual. The collective doesn't matter. It's all about what I can get for mine. You know what I mean? Even within the household, it's like that. Everybody's just me, mine, mine. We got everything, like a lot of devices that we have. It personalizes everything. So we, as more connected as we are, we're also more separated. So to the point now that the separation is even that deep now, that everyone's just living within their own bubbles. And when you're in your own bubble, there's no end and there's no give and take. Without the give and take, it gets stale. You know what I mean? It's like water not moving. It gets stagnant. And when it gets stagnant, it gets stale. And everybody's at this point now. That now it's starting to manifest in all these different ways. People, mental health, suicide rates, everything. Everything just going crazy, you know what I mean? And this is in all especially among the black community too. For one, we're not even looked at as having the same mind. Like we don't even look at as fully human when you think about a lot of the ways that things are looked at. So when it comes to that, if we talking about we have a problem, we already looked at as a problem. So when a problem is coming to you saying that we have a mental problem, no one cares about that. Either you get yourself in line or we're going to lock you up or we're going to put you in the grave. One of the two, you know what I mean? So I think that's a big part of what's going on. This is why so many people do not address the issues that we have. You know what I mean? This is why we don't even look to do that. Many of us are told that we're not even worth to go through that process. So I think that has a lot to do with what's going on.
So you think it's the OGs like us? You think we failed the generation before us? The lack of communication, the lack of like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be nobody's father, but you can be a father figure. You get what I'm saying? You can be an OG. Like, yo, sit down. I think we lack the communication. You know what I'm saying?
I think technology broke that communication line. The technology broke it. You know what I mean? Like, even think about household now. People got kids, you know what I mean? It's hard to get through to them because they got their devices, you know what I'm saying? And now when we was coming up, the technology wasn't as powerful, but it was starting to take over. We was in the beginning of the takeover, you know what I mean? Video game systems and all that got in the house, cable and all of that, TV and everything else. So we listen to our own music, everything separated. Like generations before, everybody was listening, going to the same type of events, you know what I mean? All of that type of stuff. The community did that. Now it's separated. Community separated and all these different things. And then now we've gotten to the point now, a lot of the things that was underground and people didn't know about in the mainstream, that's in the mainstream.
Yeah. Real quick before I go to Bizzle, Gov and Jam, y'all could contest to this. Back in the day when used to be thunderstorms, right? The power go out, right? Family, this person playing, although we was a little bit unified than now, way unified than now. This person playing a game, this person's this, that room. The minute the power go out, what we used to do? Light candles, everybody go in the living room and have a conversation. And then you feel that tranquility in the house. And then when the power come back on, blow the candles out, separate. Yeah, man, yeah. Bizzle, from a Gen Z standpoint, right? How do you feel about mental health for your generation, man? And what do you think? What what problem you think, how you think y'all can solve the issue?
I like that question. From what I'm seeing in my generation and lately in my circle, man, at my new job, people my age and just everyday life. You know, even skills can attest to this as well. When it comes to people in my generation and mental health, it makes us very inconsistent. You know what I mean? What I mean by inconsistent, there's no more real friendships. There's no more real bonds. You can't. Nobody's trusting one another because you don't know if that person's feeling that way. That person's thinking this way. That person's feeling a little suicidal here. That person's feeling homicidal there. You know what I mean? Everyone is going through something that is so powerful that even if you try to help somebody, take them out the water, man, they would rather drown these days. It's been some friends I offer, like, man, like, yo, like, let's go out, let's, have a talk about it. You know what I mean? Get something to eat. They don't want to do that. Try to meet people. Be like, yo, let's connect. I don't go to clubs or anything, but let's go roller skating or something. They don't even want to speak to you. They don't want to say nothing to you. The trust issues are there. People don't want to connect no more. And it kind of like, bro, take me back to what Skill said about, when we was talking about the dissing within the rap groups and everything, connecting with hip hop and real life. But see, the scary part is, even when it comes to music and the underground scene, connecting with people is not how it used to be anymore. You cannot just connect with people because people, their mental health, their trust issues, and sometimes for right reasons, is not there no more. People don't want to associate with you unless you're in their inner circle. People don't want to explore out. People don't want to collab on anything. People do not want to. People don't want to go to the studio. People would rather send music from their house. People would rather not sit in the studio and encourage each other, help each other, with rhymes and beats and stuff. People don't want to talk to you face to face, make music with you face to face. So a lot of the thing is that you start to feel very isolated and lonely. Then with you, you're like, man, F it anyway. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody else being alone, everybody else being isolated, I'll be isolated too. So it makes you kind of numb to it. You know what I mean? Nowadays, when I get these texts or I get these from a friend or somebody, and you be like, you know what, I need a mental health break, or I'm not gonna speak to you for this and this. I become numb to it. I mean, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I smile, I smirk at it, and it's crazy to think, but our generation, man, we don't care who has suicide, who has problems. We don't check on our friends no more, and if we do listen, our attention spans are so short where we could care less, honestly. So now we are born in a whole generation of heartless killers, people that kill, rob, do what they do for no reason whatsoever. It's not even a reason no more. It's not for their families, not for, you're trying to buy a PlayStation for your little brother, or, get some medicine for your mom that has cancer. Everybody is just so mentally effed up to the point where we're just doing things out the blue. There's no reason for it no more, for a lot of us. And yeah, I don't feel like, which is scary because, pops, moms, people like Gov Jam are like the last of like what we have. Like the Mohicans left after, God forbid, may God give them a long life. But after they're gone, man, when it comes to like culture and family cookouts, man, people barely want to meet you 3 minutes up the street, man. I'm scared for my generation to become parents, man. Like oh my God, the next generation of kids, man. God, man, we should not have kids. We should not have kids. Man, we have one bad day and abandon the kids, man. We would like literally, can't find our favorite cookies in the aisle, man, and don't want to feed our kids no more, man, or just like abandon them. Like, or like
Nah,
we're
I agree
beyond
with you,
repair at this
bro.
point.
I don't think we beyond repair, but I think what really did it beyond the generation above us, you feel me? But I feel like the main thing that did it is COVID, bro. I felt like COVID kind of deteriorated a lot of people's social skills. You feel me? So a lot of people are scared of confrontation, don't want confrontation, do anything to avoid confrontation. It's like, yo, we need to talk, bro. Because how do I know the tone in which you said something if you texted me? Now, maybe if you said it in all caps, it's like, nigga, why are you yelling? You feel me? But if you didn't say it in all caps, you could mean it one way, but I might take it a different way. Or you feel me? I'm pause. Hey, yo, I might, I might I might misunderstand the tone which you use because I didn't hear you say it. You get what I'm saying? So
Yep,
it's
100%.
like we need to be able to communicate, bro. We need to be able to communicate with each other. We need to be able to communicate with women. We need to just be able to talk, be social. We need to know how to do things without devices, bro. And that's another issue too, is that, you feel me? Not that things are being handed to us, but things kind of are, bro. Like there was a time, yo, where like I was talking to my mans the other day. I was like, yo, there was a time before Uber and Lyft, yo, if you didn't have a whip, you had to go catch the bus, bro. You feel me? Like now things are so accessible, it makes you think things are supposed to be easier when they're not really supposed to be easier. You feel me? But it's like things are more accessible now. You get things faster, but that's not realistic. That's not reality.
You know what's weird? I'm gonna let Jam cook. Can y'all hear me? You know what's weird? Even for my generation, like I said, we got caught up in technology to where, like right now, I'm gonna tell you how weird it can be. Like, see how we doing a pod right now, like how we doing it. Let's say we do an episode where everybody in the room together. It would probably be so socially awkward. You get what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think so. I think it would be better. I think it would be better if we did it together.
Yeah, it probably would. It probably would. I ain't gonna lie, it probably would. It probably, yeah, it probably would.
I mean, it'd be different if we all didn't know each other in real life.
Yeah, if we were just texting each other and not seeing each other's face all day, it'd be
Right.
socially awkward. Because I've seen that with my own eyes in public. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the day and time we live in. I can't contribute, you know, all to Gen Z. You can't blame it all on them. Sometimes us OGs as well, we got caught up in the mix. And you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a work buddy. You know how y'all cool at work? Y'all talk about this, talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And y'all finally go to a happy hour spot, or you see the person in the market. It's like, hey, what's up? What's up, Phil? What's up, Tom?
Yeah.
See you at work tomorrow. And then the next day y'all come in for work, y'all got all the rap in the world. That's how I look at this day and time with technology. All right, let's move on, man. I was gonna talk about AI taking jobs, but we'll skip that. Let's move on to what happened in Minnesota. I'm gonna try this technology again, Skill. The volcano from an Iceland, they come to take over the rap game like the white man. Iller than Hitler, photobomb at Yahoo, at the bomb missile. Watch me do it like the Pointer Sisters. Slip arsenic in your corn liquor. Two bigger L's than the Aubrey nigga. From Pappy Mason to Pastor Mason, the church was vacant. I'm preaching with Bobby, trapped in the basement. I'm laughing, just imagine the Sleepy Beauty had herpes.